Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to our homestead in the mountains of North Idaho. And let me tell you, it is cold this morning. It was like 35 degrees or so when we woke up, but it is springtime, and North Idaho, just because it's cold doesn't mean you get to stop what you're doing. So Mike and I are actually building some more raised beds for our garden. We're gonna head down to the bottom first thing this morning, do a few chores, pick out some logs, drag them back up here, and get some raised beds built.
All right, guys, down here at the bottom, you may have seen in our last video that we split the pasture actually right behind us over here. We split that right in half, and in doing so, allows us to put both the ram and the ewes on that pasture with all the green grass back there. So what we've been doing pretty much every morning is just moving them right on over to that pasture.
Yeah.
Let's get that done, and then we're gonna pick some logs out. Good job.
We've checked out the logs here at the log pile, and I think we have a couple picked out. I don't think we're gonna go for massive logs. We're gonna go kind of in the middle. We don't want the tiniest ones either. We have two raised beds that we're going to build. So I think we picked out this one right here on the ground here, pretty long, and then maybe another one right up there. So I think we might cut them with a chainsaw and then drag them up to the garden. All right, we got the logs up. You can see we have a bit of an empty space over here on, like, I guess the front side of the garden. So I think the plan is to make two raised beds to kind of fill that gap.
All right, guys, let's just take a quick break from that. And man, I wanted to tell you guys that I was Googling myself the other day just out of curiosity after the Homestead Rescue show aired. And so I just Googled my name, and I was shocked to see how much of my information was just on these personal websites. And come to find out, there is somebody called a data broker, and what that person does, that's their job title. What they do is they sell your personal information to anybody out there, essentially, including spammers and robocallers. And these people can go pretty deep. They can find out your phone number, they can find out your home address, and that's why I'm pretty excited to let you guys know about the sponsor of today's video, and that is Aura. And what Aura does is they go through and they can identify these brokers. Once these brokers are identified, they submit an opt-out request on your behalf. And typically these companies, they make it very difficult to submit these requests, but Aura handles all of that for you. Not only can Aura submit these opt-out requests for you, they do so much more to protect you and your whole family from online threats that you'll never even see. It's really easy to set up, so you don't have to download several different apps to get things like VPN management, password management, parental controls, and the list goes on, guys. You get everything at one affordable price. So you could continue letting people exploit and profit off of your personal information, or you could go to aura.com/laidbackliving to start your 2-week free trial. There's also a link down in the description box below. I wanted to thank Aura for sponsoring today's video. Let's get back to work.
Mike and I got both of these raised beds finished. You guys could see that we ended up going with a different method for this second bigger one here. Rather than using like whole chunks of logs like we did with the first one, we ended up just using the mill ends and kind of just building a little frame and filling that in. Turns out that was a lot easier, a lot less steps, a lot less using the chainsaw. We just had to cut them to size. Didn't have to drag everything up here, so that turned out really good. We like that method. You know, we'll see like in the future what rots quicker. We know that since these are made of wood and filled with dirt and water, that they are going to rot eventually, but that's okay with us. We understand that. So we got these two beds done. We filled them with a few different things. The first layer was a really rocky soil that we have down at the bottom. Typically we would use sand, but this is about as close as we have to sand. So that's the first layer. The second layer is manure from the sheep pen. We just shoveled a bunch into a wheelbarrow and did a nice layer of that in both of these beds. And then after that, we did peat moss, I believe. We had one big bag of that left from last year. And then we just used regular soil from around the house here. You guys probably saw me shoveling that into the wheelbarrow. We just used the dirt that has like sloughed off into our parking area. And then with that, we mixed in some topsoil, that really, really nice dark brown soil that you saw. We put that on top and kind of just mixed it all together and got everything really wet. This method worked really well for us last year. We got a lot of stuff planted and growing. And I think all of our beds are actually full. So we ended up filling this one. I think might put corn, pumpkins, green beans in these 2 beds here. I have some cucumbers planted, got our potatoes, our cabbage, our broccoli. I had some tomato starts going in the greenhouse, and that's what I put in these cages over here in these 2 beds right over here. They're still pretty tiny, but I'm hoping that with the warm weather coming up and plenty of water, these things will grow to maturity at the end of the summer, which would be awesome. So far everything is doing really good. Mike and I are really thinking that here at our house in North Idaho, we are in the clear of frost. You know, everybody is kind of at different times, depending on where you are, but most people should be about within a week or 2 of each other. So we have everything planted, so we will definitely see. I'm super excited. Don't forget, if you guys have any questions or comments or concerns about this project, anything that you would like to know, leave it in the comment section down below, and then look for our video on laid back living. That is going to be the breakdown and the talking of this specific project. So be looking for that here in a couple days. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. We really appreciate you guys watching, and we will see you in the next video.